If your English disappears when you start speaking, it's not because your English is bad. It's because you're under pressure, and that changes everything. Let me explain something that most learners misunderstand. You can understand English. You can read it. You can watch YouTube videos. You can follow TV shows. But the moment someone looks at you and says, "So, what do you think?" your mind goes blank. And then you think, "My English is terrible. I've learned nothing. I'm not fluent." But that's not what's happening. What's really happening is called pressure. And pressure blocks access. Think about your own native language for a second. Have you ever forgotten a simple word in your native language before? Of course, yeah. We all have. It doesn't happen because you don't know the word, but because your brain froze. Now imagine doing that in a second language in front of someone while judging yourself. Of course, it feels harder. Here is what most learners do next. They go back to studying more grammar, more vocabulary, more rules, because they think that the problem is knowledge. But speaking is not a knowledge problem, it's a performance problem. You don't rise to the level of your study, you fall to the level of your repetition. Let that sink in. If you only practice English in safe environments, reading, listening, watching, guess what? Then the first time you actually speak, your brain treats it like danger. And when your brain senses danger, it prioritizes survival, not language. That's why your heart beats faster. That's why your mouth goes dry. That's why simple sentences feel complicated. It's not lack of intelligence, it's lack of pressure training. That's right. When I was learning English, I remember something very clearly. I could understand so much, but when it was my turn to speak, I would just simplify everything. Short answers, basic words, playing it safe. Not because I didn't know more, but because I didn't trust myself under pressure. And trust is built through exposure and practice, not through more studying. Here's the shift, the mindset shift that changes everything for you. Instead of asking, "How can I learn more English?" ask, "How can I get more comfortable speaking in perfect English?" That's the most important question, and that's a different goal. Because fluency is not about having perfect sentences ready. It's about being okay with sentences that aren't perfect. That's confidence right there for you. And confidence reduces pressure. And when pressure drops, your real level appears. You'd be surprised how much English you already know. You just can't access it when you're tense. So, what should you actually do? First, lower the standard. Stop trying to sound impressive like a native speaker. Aim to be clear. Second, increase safe speaking reps. For example, short voice notes, talking to yourself, shadowing, low pressure conversations. Not once a week. Do it daily. Third, expect awkwardness. The first 20 conversations will feel uncomfortable, and that is 100% normal. You're training your nervous system, not just your vocabulary. And here is something important that you have to keep in mind. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. You will never know everything. It comes from surviving situations you were scared of. Each time you speak and nothing bad happens, your brain will update. Oh, this is safe. This feels normal. And once speaking feels safe and natural and normal, fluency accelerates. So if your English disappears when you speak, do not panic. That doesn't mean you're bad at English. It just means you're under pressure. It just means your English has not been trained under pressure yet. And that's fixable. You don't need more grammar. You need more exposure. You don't need more words. You need more reps. And once you understand that, the problem feels smaller and you feel more in control. Once you remove the unnecessary pressure, everything starts moving fast. Well, faster. And I truly believe that you are closer than you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.